Did you notice that TikTok quietly announced that soon they will begin to allow 30-minute long videos? Well, according to this TikTok, long form content has returned and it is entering a new era. In this video, I'll be sharing how you can shift your content strategy to capitalize on this emerging content trend. Plus, I'll be sharing my weekly roundup of creator insights that can level up your content game, help you grow your brand, and maybe even make a little money along the way. Stay tuned because you're about to be in the know. Okay, let's watch the TikTok that I'm referring to.
Now, if you don't already know this, it may have gotten lost in your notifications, but TikTok sent out a message saying that 30-minute videos will be introduced soon. Now, I already know this is going to cause a lot of controversy versus people that want shorter videos on TikTok and just want their longer videos on the website that starts with a Y. Every time TikTok releases a new feature, it is always pushed out to the algorithm so heavily. I mean, look at the TikTok shop. I think this is going to be a really pivotal feature because it's essentially changing the app entirely. TikTok is literally known for short form video, and this is totally changing what the algorithm is going to look like over the next few months. I do think this update is going to be really great for the creators that already post on the website that starts with Y because you can just transfer the content over.
All right, I am going to pause the video right there. While I do agree that this is amazing for creators, I don't necessarily think it's going to be as easy and simple as taking your YouTube content and transferring it over to TikTok for these 30-minute long videos. They will still want originality from their creators, which leads me to wonder and to think about what are going to be the general vibe and trends that will come out of these 30-minute videos. So why is TikTok even doing this? Well, for two main reasons. One, more ad potential, and two, they want to compete with YouTube. Now, in 2024, social media companies are going to continue to compete for the viewer's attention, which leads me to ask you the question, how are you going to shift and change your content strategy with this emerging trend of the 30-minute videos on TikTok? This comment right here definitely proves that not all creators are going to want to post long-form content on TikTok, which I think is okay. But I do think it's going to be smart for creators and influencers to explore these 30-minute videos on TikTok once they start to actually roll out and really pay attention to what is the topic slash subject matter of these videos, what's the formats being used in these videos. I think that could be valuable information that you can then take and start to develop ideas for your long form content over on YouTube, and take the topics and trends that you're seeing on YouTube and make it relevant to your niche. By being analytical in that way, you'll be able to stay current and connected with your audience. And this is going to be super important in 2024. Influencers, content creators who have a deep understanding of their target audience will be winning in 2024. I watch a lot of content on this stuff, so I can't even remember which YouTube guru, social media guru even said this, but I have heard recently that to embrace a long form content. And I've also learned that shorts don't necessarily give you or bring you the right kind of growth for your channel, and you can definitely do some research on that. But I just wanted to kind of drive that point home that long form content is here. 2024 is going to be embracing long form content in a new way. It's early to still understand what that will look like, but we should definitely be paying attention and seeing how we can make the use of this modern way to create long-form content. This week's entrepreneurship advice comes from Carlton Dennis in his video, Escaping the Rat Race. Now, this video was suggested to me over the past couple of weeks, and when I saw it, I kind of just breezed over it. I wasn't really interested, and I don't know why 100%, but I did. I clicked on it one night. I was watching YouTube after dinner with my husband, and I decided to click on it, and we watched it together. And when I tell you, like, he gets into it, like, he's actually great at communicating and at delivering this message. It was way better and more powerful than I ever imagined it to be. You definitely want to watch the full video for yourself, but I do just want to watch a little bit of it so I can give you the piece that I want to share with you guys today. Let me pull that up.
Number 4 trait, internet is the future. You need to figure out your online business model or become like Blockbuster and get passed up. Guys, all of us knew, especially millennials in my age, we knew what it was like to get to Friday night and your parents wanted to take you to Blockbuster. You used to rip and run up and down the aisles, choosing all your favorite movies, bringing them to the cashier, checking out with a couple of different popcorns and candies, going home and watching a Blockbuster movie. And then 3 years passed, and then next thing you know, Netflix is the new thing. You have your own login. You don't need to leave the house. You don't need to go to Blockbuster. And next thing you know, all the Blockbusters that you see in the community all of a sudden start shutting down. The reason why this happened is because Blockbuster refused to adapt. Blockbuster had a chance to partner with Netflix, and they chose not to. Could you believe that? Look who's out of business now. Here's the thing I want.
Look who's out of business now. The point I want to drive home here is that he is 100% correct. Internet is the future, and if you don't have your online brand, your online presence, an online business, and if you don't have those things established, or you're not at least starting to begin how you're going to establish those things, you're not going to be putting yourself on a path to having maximum growth as a content creator and entrepreneur. You need to lean all the way into the digital world. There's no way around it. To his whole point about Blockbuster not adapting, I do want to draw a connection to me sharing this emerging trend of YouTube soon to come out with allowing 30-minute videos. That is them adapting to the consumer. In their minds and really what's going on, consumers are watching longer videos these days. And why would they not compete with YouTube, who is an established social media company who's known for long form content, who has proven that long form content it works. So they are adapting to what's going on, and that means you should definitely do the same. If you are able to adapt, you will find success. And I know longer videos will take a lot of work out of you. Establishing your online presence and building your personal brand, that's going to require work. But I do think that is going to pay off in the long run. I also wanted to touch on the notion that Carlton alludes to in this video of escaping the rat race. And I know he's talking about that in probably like the corporate sense, but when it comes to content creators, I do low-key think there's also a rat race. What do I mean by that? Well, when it comes to making money as a content creator, that largely can come from brand deals / sponsorships and AdSense, right? And those things are like dictated by another entity and other people, other companies, and you as a content creator have to make the content in order to insert the sponsored portion of the videos and the content, and you have to keep doing that in order to make your money. You have to post your videos in order for the companies, for YouTube to place the ads in your videos. You know, like, it's reliant on other people, and there's this kind of cycle. If you can imagine the hamster running on the wheel, that's what I have in my head when I'm talking about this. And I'm assuming that can be kind of challenging to navigate. And I do want to emphasize, as Carlton Dennis is saying, start a business, have an online business where things are more reliant on you instead of another group of people, other people. And When I say things are relying on you, I'm talking about you get to have more control over the income that you're bringing in for yourself. So I don't know. Does the concept of the content creator rat race ring a bell with you? Please let me know in the comments below. All right, so for creator tools / resources, I am going to be talking about like a mixture of things. A big thing that I've been focusing on is packaging your videos, and what that consists of is intentionally creating your thumbnails and your titles and your hook to capture your viewer, get someone to click on your video and watch it, packaging your videos. And I have been relying on AI to help me with that. I use ChatGPT to help me write my titles, help me write not only my hook, but also my script. And Canva and Photoshop, those are the primary programs that I use to create my thumbnails. They have really started to use generative AI within their programs, and it has been really helpful with designing thumbnails. And I just wanted to throw on your radar, like, don't be afraid of AI. You definitely should be using it to make your creation process more efficient. And I want you to think of AI as an assistant. It's here to help you create and do things quicker, but it's not going to replace you. Like, I'm not sure if there's some content creators out there that really are thinking like, you know, AI generated content is, you're really actually competing with that. Like, no, audiences still want human created content. So feel empowered to get your ideas out, create your content and everything like that, but definitely use AI to help you. And I do want to mention, like, audiences want the human created content because they still want to relate on a personal level, and only real humans can do that. All right, this segment of the video is called Shine a Light on 'Em. Shine a light on 'em. Shine a light on 'em. Okay, so this is where I want to do a mini case study, and this week's mini case study is focusing on a video from a woman called, her name is Jazz Anye, and she made a video called Getting Deep, I Can't Continue On Like This. And this piece of content triggered me in a good way. Now, I have never watched a video from this creator until I watched this one. She did pop up on my homepage and I saved those videos to my watch later, but when I saw this one, I was intrigued because she was talking about the future of her and her channel, and I love all that type of stuff, and it sounded like she was getting ready for some type of pivot, so I wanted to see what was going on. So who is this? Who is Jazz Anye?
Jazz Anye has been the teacher, right? Jazz Anye has just been this girl you subscribe to on YouTube that can help you with your business. But Jazz Anye is a beast, and it's time for the world to know that. It's time.
In this video, she is sharing her pivot away from Jazz the teacher to Jazz the business owner, because in her opinion, people are no longer interested in learning.
People are not interested in learning like they were, let's just say 2020. I don't know if they're overwhelmed. I don't know if they just aren't interested in being entrepreneurs anymore. You know, the hype and the excitement of 2020 is gone, but things have changed.
While I do understand where she's coming from, I definitely understand where she's coming from, especially when it comes to people learning the principles and fundamentals of entrepreneurship. I feel her on that. But I do not agree. People these days, how they want to intake information, they need it to be clearly articulated how this educational content is going to benefit their lifestyle goals. If you aren't sharing knowledge from that angle, I do think in general, it is going to be hard to get people to want to watch educational content. And that largely has to do with the fact that people don't know what they want. I was watching something this week, and this guy who is kind of in the newer age of giving out YouTube growth advice and stuff like that, he used this analogy of like,
when you're a kid and you don't want to eat vegetables, your mum would mash up a ton of broccoli and put it in your burger. It's the same thing. You got to give them a burger and put some broccoli in it.
you still got the nutrients, everything that you need, but you weren't really aware of that. So the analogy of putting the broccoli in the burger is taking something that is usually not really sexy, like learning fundamentals and principles of entrepreneurship, or insert whatever it is you feel like you want to share your expertise on or share information on, and taking that and making it more appealing, more appetizing to your audience. In the words of Future, you have to dress it up and make it real for me.
Dress it up and make it real for me.
You know, you can't give it to them raw. You can't slap some raw broccoli on a plate and hand it over and think they're gonna eat it up. That's not how most people wanna intake informational, educational based content these days. You kind of want to lead with the benefits and then follow up with the features and like the more technical aspects of things. Like if you start these types of videos, being clear on how what you're about to share will benefit the desires of your target audience, you're bound to be more successful with people wanting to intake this more educational, informative content. Now, I am shining a light on this because connecting back to what I opened this video with, long form is returning. And that means you're going to want to create more value-based content. And in 2024, influencers, content creators need to evolve into being experts. Specialization within your niche is going to be crucial. What do I mean by this? Let me give you an example. Hairdressers. There are hairdressers of all kinds and of all sorts. Hairdresser A specializes in braids, hairdresser B weaves, hairdresser C silk presses, hairdresser D wigs. They are all in the same industry, right? But they each have their own specialization, which means they can target a specific audience, customer that connects and wants their specialty. So as an influencer, I'm gonna use lifestyle influencers. That is your industry, that's your niche, but what is your specialty within that niche? You have to be clear on that going into 2024, because specialization within your niche will position you as an industry authority. This will provide you with the ability to, one, consistently produce valuable long-form content, and two, build your brand and stop playing small. And if that's something you're interested in, I think you're gonna enjoy this video right here. And if you missed last week's weekly roundup of creator insights, you can watch it here. Thank you so much for tapping into this week's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.